Hey everybody, Dragon of the East Blue once again, and if my voice sounds a little bit weird, it's because I went to the DragonForce concert the other night. Now this video is going to be part review, part tackling the issues that DragonForce has faced, and the one that it constantly faces from haters and so forth. So it's going to be from a fan's perspective and a hardcore fan, because DragonForce to me is the best band. Well, maybe not the best, it's not fair to say, but it is my favorite band, and I'm going to explain why in a second. So how was the show? Fucking amazing. It was absolutely a blast. It was just mind-boggling. I don't have any words to express just how amazing it really was. To actually get to see them in person, it didn't really feel real. It was a dream. It was truly surreal. And I was really close. I was right in the front. I could like smell the sweat. It was ridiculous, just amazing. I got to shake Vadim's hand as well. It was just absolutely insane, an absolute blast. And I'm still shaking. When I drove up to the venue, La Nationale, I could feel my heart was pounding. The sweat was going a little bit. I'm going inside. I'm freaking out. I'm just going, shit. Here it is. And just, oh my god, just amazing. But there's some issues I need to talk about, and it's the live performances, because a lot of haters say that DragonForce sucks live. And when people say that, I say, fuck you. Have you actually listened to them perform live? Have you seen them perform live? I doubt it very much. Because obviously DragonForce started off rather shakily at the beginning, but now they've really toned themselves. They've improved. They've become absolutely amazing. I am extremely impressed by how well they played. Just an absolute blast. I just cannot tell you just how amazing to see them play. And they're really forward. They love getting people involved. They love performing live. It is absolutely obvious. I can see why Dave, the drummer, joined the band, because they get to tour, gets to play with the crowd. They love smiling to the crowd. They love making everyone jump in to get involved. It's just, they're insane live. They're one of the best performers I've seen live. And when you talk about bands that can't play live, Disturbed, a very large fan base, but they suck live. Honestly, I've seen a lot of bands play, at least 30, and they were the worst live. And this is one of the biggest bands out there so far. Well, at least, people say they're one of the biggest ones out there. So they have a large fan base, one that my friend is really a part of. But, it's kind of not fair. But overall, just amazing. They play very well live. So those who give them flack about playing live, tell them to fuck off and actually go watch their performances. They are insane. After 6 long years, they've worked hard, so good for them. Now, people also say that the music is very repetitive. When people say that, they really don't understand what it means to become a band that actually everyone can recognize. And the thing is that you really need to make a sound that is unique. And DragonForce does, in fact, have a unique sound. If you don't create a unique sound, you fade into the background. And there's some really great bands that I know that actually have the LPs for, like Raven, Black and Blue, Kick-Axe. These are really talented bands. However, they sounded way too similar to other bands at the time, so over the next couple of years, even though they managed to get some albums out, they faded into the background because they just couldn't stand out as something different. And though there is power metal that does sound similar to DragonForce's music, it does not sound exactly like DragonForce. And DragonForce is on its own, has separated itself. True symphonic power metal. It's like a huge, massive orchestra playing with different music color tones and just jumping all over the place. It's an absolute blast. And their music is unique, and that's why they stand on their own. But another problem with their music is that they say that it is sped up. It's a Studio Force thing that's all edited in their home studio. It's all sped up music. Okay, there's a couple of issues I'd like to address about that. One, why is it that people never give flack to black metal bands even though they play extremely fast? Probably twice as fast, at least, or twice or 3 times as fast as DragonForce, but no one seems to complain about that, yet DragonForce gets flack for it. They actually do play rather quickly, but at some times when it sounds like they're playing quickly, they're actually playing rather slow. It's a combination of Sam and Lee playing their guitars, and then you have Vadim on keyboard, as well as Frederick on bass. So when it combines it together, it sounds very loud. In fact, sometimes when they're playing, they're going at a very slow tempo, 1 2 1 2 1 2, rather slow. But how do they play quickly without making it sound like they've sped it up in the studio? Well, there's a sort of a thing that we do in boxing here. It doesn't have a name for it. It's basically move less and you'll gain more. Basically, slower move, like less movement means you'll move faster. Instead of doing a huge duck to avoid a straight jab or anything like that. Short, small movements. It allows you to move quickly with less amount of energy, so you keep going for longer. And it's the same thing here. These guys don't move all that often when they move their fingers, but they still manage to play really fast because they're making short movements that allows to save energy and play quickly. So overall, they are playing quickly, but also very slow. Very interesting concept. So overall, how was the performance? Really, really good. The only downside was that I had to wait nearly 2 hours for them to perform because there was two bands that played before them, two opening bands. There was a brand new band called Huntress and a band that's already been out for a while called Holy Grail. Both of them really weren't my style of music. I didn't really like it all that much, but I have to give kudos and credit where it deserves, and I have to give kudos to the bass player of Huntress. He was absolutely insane, jumping around, having a really good time. I think if the band doesn't succeed, he will. And then there's the lead guitarist of Holy Grail. Son of a bitch broke 3 guitars by the time they ended the performance. He broke strings on all 3 of those guitars, but he had sleight of hand on because he just switched guitars really quickly. Absolute beast, a really great guitarist, and a lot of us can learn from him. But I have to be honest, I was really worried about DragonForce. It's been 6 years since they toured, 6 years since they released an album. It really scared me, and especially when Zippy left the band, I thought DragonForce was done, and it's really hurt because DragonForce was the first band that I really truly supported. They're the ones that I wanted to buy albums for, they're the ones that I wanted to just go to their concerts, buy their merchandise, and the ones that really set me into metal 100%, because I got into rock and roll when I was very, very young, into Elvis Presley and stuff like that, and getting more interested in how to play guitar when after I watched School of Rock with Jack Black. But DragonForce really got me into the metal and rock and roll crowd, so I really owed it to them, and the fact that they would be done as they just starting scared me. But now, after 6 long years, they perfected their skills, they got new music out, a new amazing lead singer, Mark Hudson. He's actually a fan of DragonForce. He became a fan when he was 15 when the first album came out, Valley of the Damned, and it's an absolute dream, and I really feel happy for him to play as the new lead singer for DragonForce, and we welcome him with open arms because he is amazing. If you ever watch this, bro, you are fucking awesome. So, I was worried, but now I'm not anymore. I know DragonForce now has the power to keep going, and now they're going to be launching in a new era of greatness. The Dragons of Force are back, and they shall not leave. Even when they die, they shall be eternal. So this is the Dragon Blue saying sail on, and all hail DragonForce.